Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of the Grae Area podcast.
Grae Area. Woo!
Yeah.
I am Shakoya D.
Being Breeze.
It's your boy Damani.
And welcome to the Grae Area. If this is your first time joining us, this is a podcast about whatever we feel like talking about. It could be love, it could be life, it could be nothing, or it could be everything. We have interesting conversations, and we just wanted to bring you guys in on that with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Mm-hmm. But also, we do record these podcasts about 1 to 2 months in advance. So if you want to watch us live, if you want to be in on the conversation, if you want to watch it unedited, then follow us. Well, join our Patreon. It starts at the low price of $3 a month. That's $3 a month. You can be a part.
$1 for him, $1 for her, $1 for me.
Exactly. So you could be a part of our Patreon, and then you'll also get access to more exclusive and behind the scenes content along with this live podcast, which includes our food review show.
Who made this?
Mm-hmm.
And other content that's coming soon. But you joining our Patreon, it supports us and it helps us to create higher quality content and more content for you guys. But let's get right into it. How are you guys today?
I'm good. I must say.
Splendid.
How are you?
I'm good. Like with the weather changes, like from going from like super warm to freezing cold to raining and stuff like that. I might be a little teensy bit under the weather. I think it's more so like allergies and the fact that my room is so dry. But the humidifier will be here tomorrow, so I should be feeling better by then.
Alright. And the lawnmower.
Yeah.
I ain't never been excited to cut my grass.
I was thinking about that every time I see it.
Every time I walk out there, I be like, hey, we them. I don't want to be one of them.
Yeah.
Only like out of the couple houses that I see, the ones with the bad grass.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that neighbor.
But I'm also excited to get a rake. We should have been got one, but just so like we can rake up everything and spray all the weeds and stuff.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Gardener Breeze here. Old farmer Damani.
But yeah, I'm actually excited about that too. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Hopefully it starts actually warming up for real soon. And
Peaks and valleys.
But it's weird because like when it gets warm, it's like getting really warm, and then the next day it's freezing cold.
This time it was because of the rain.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's like it's not just regular rain, because when it keeps raining, I keep getting a notification on my phone that there's a freeze warning. So it's like, okay, it was just 73 degrees out there, 78.
Is it actually spring now? When they see this, it's gonna actually be spring, but I think we got 2 days.
Yeah, we got 2
3
days
days.
until actual like spring
3 days.
Well, I thought it was the 20th.
I never know. I know it's in March.
I bet you some cookies.
Alright.
If it's the 21st, you make cookies.
If it's the 20th, you make cookies.
Look.
I was gonna look it up. But
Oh yeah, you should look it up. You're an unbiased party. He like, I'm making cookies regardless.
yeah, I appreciate that, y'all. Thank you.
Both of us is wrong. Damani makes cookies.
How my name get on there?
Both days is on here. Oh, wow.
Because the spring equinox. Oh, wow.
Damani makes cookies.
No, wait, no, that says June 21st. It says March 20th
Yeah,
to
March
June
20th.
21st.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said March 20th
yeah.
to 21st.
Make some
That's
cookies,
cool.
sir.
It's 21 on here.
I said the first day of spring 2023. It says Monday, March 20th, 2023.
And I think that's because that's when the spring equinox is.
At my school, we had this thing called the Equinox.
What do you mean?
It was a statue.
Oh, okay.
Not a statue, but a sculpture. But it was big. Are statues only people? No, right? They could be other things.
It could be of whatever.
Yeah, you saw the giant bull statue.
Oh yeah, with the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did this.
Waveforms.
It's the universal sign of. But yeah, express time. I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
I'll send you the cookie recipe.
Thought he was gonna skate.
Right. I still might wind up making it. I like making cookies, but y'all should learn how to make them. You rely on me all the time.
Last time I asked you to send it to me, I ain't never get the
I just forgot.
message.
I forgot. You be asking me when we're like doing something else.
Hey,
We-
girl,
What's that supposed to mean?
y'all said boys go to Jupiter to get more stupid, or girls go to Mars to get more stars. So that means
That
You should be
ain't
smart.
mean expand my memory.
turn.
I am smarter. Yeah. What if you ask
I be
me?
trying to figure out where you leading us. I'm not even gonna. Where you be leading yourself, man?
I just be going.
You should be firing from the hip. I'm like, where did that come from?
Entertainment purposes only.
If you ask me when we get out the car, like to go, we're about to get out the car to go grocery shopping. I'm not thinking about cookies.
Groceries, cookies. Oh,
I
should send the recipe.
I was thinking about buying cookies. I wasn't thinking about making them.
I still might go buy a cookie. And make some cookies.
You should have just got that 3 for $5.
I ain't want no.
Say that now, but you want what you want right now? Some extra cookie.
Some hope.
I just want a personal chef right now. I just don't feel like cooking.
I just wanna play my music.
I just wanna play my music. Music's in my soul. And I just wanna every day and every night is the one thing on my mind. You don't know that song? It's the Jonas Brothers.
He not hip.
Right.
He fired from the hip, but he ain't hip.
Okay. Hip is such an old saying.
It really is, but
Not
I
hip.
like it.
Hip hop. That's what we talking about.
Is that why hip hop is called hip hop?
Because he fired from the hip.
Nah, because I was like, I'm hip.
Oh.
Hop, hip, a hip into the hip hop. You know, and that's how they got it.
It's to be in tune with movement. Hip.
I was about to say,
Is
hip hop is poetry in motion.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in tune with.
are y'all being serious? That's serious?
No, that's that's what KRS-One said. He said it was like to be hip is to be aware, and then hop is deals with movement.
And being brief
aware
said
of
poetry is.
You said what?
I mean, hip hop is poetry in motion.
Oh, that's very insightful. I didn't think anything insightful was going to come out of that exchange. Not to tell
Boys go to jail.
I just
Never come back around.
I never had nobody, like, I never knew it. There was an actual explanation. Well, I didn't know y'all knew the explanation, because I didn't. I thought we was about to Google something.
Can't always be the smartest in the room. I be shooting from the hip, but you know it's like Saturn. It always comes back around. Actually, it's like the planets. My conversation is the sun. It always comes back around.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
No, nobody can help you. You are on an island, sir.
I think we should throw that one away.
Oh, that was a good one. Let me just. It ain't mixed yet. That one was the fun.
Don't worry about Amex yet.
Y'all are funny.
Yeah. Apparently, rap stands for rhythm and poetry. Or somebody said rhyming and something like that. I was watching a Lupe video. He was talking about rap stands for something as well. Who wouldn't like it, huh?
Word, that's
Acronyms.
I didn't know. I had no idea. I took a whole class on hip hop. Still didn't know. What was the history of hip hop? We didn't learn that.
How y'all learn now at y'all big old ages? 30.
Whoa. Speak for yourself, Ken. How do I learn? I learn best through sound and through feeling. So typically if I hear something, I usually can remember it a lot better. And once I get the feeling of something, then I usually learn it that way. That's what I've learned about myself.
We were actually just talking about this yesterday. Because I feel like I need to read the book Limitless like he read, so I can figure out how I learn best at this age. For me though, typically if I write it down, I can remember it. So like, that's why when I'm mixing, I be using your notes. I actually copied and made a separate note so I don't keep, distracting. But I can use your notes because it's like written down, and I was there, so I can follow along. But also, like when he was teaching me how to master the other day with the videos, but I was taking notes. So typically for me, if I write it down, I can remember it better. But I don't know if that's necessarily like the most efficient way for me to absorb and retain information right now in a way that I'll be able to execute it. So I think I need to look into it a little bit more for myself at this big old age of not 30.
What about you, sir?
I just gotta do it. My biggest thing be actually doing it. Like, the act of actually doing it. And then once I be like, I can do it, then I guess I accept whatever learning I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I just gotta, like a kid, I gotta touch it.
He touched the pot.
It's like that iron is hot. I know what hot is.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what hot is until I experience hot.
Mm-hmm.
And hot is subjective.
That's interesting though. So like, do you feel like your learning style has changed since you were a child to now, or do you feel like it's the same, or it is improved or enhanced?
I was gonna say mine changed. When I was little, I could just hear it. Like, yeah, I could hear it, and I could hear it or see it and know how to do it. It's still that way, but now I actually have to do it.
Yeah, mine is I think mine is the same. I just didn't. Mine is similar in terms of like when I used to. I don't know why. Whenever I used to get stuff to build, like let's say we had furniture, like I don't like reading the directions. I would just kind of go and just figure it out. And most of the time, I figure it out by myself. It's not like a
alpha male demand.
It's not. Not even on the
directions. What's that?
But it's funny. I don't have an issue looking at the directions because like I would be like if I really get stuck, I'll look at them. But for the most part, like me feeling my way through has really been the case for me my whole life. But what I will say, I don't think my learning style changed. I just think that school didn't cater to my learning style. So like now I'm catering my life to my learning style.
Do you feel like school ever really caters to anybody's learning style?
So this is what I found out. Education. All right, the root word education is some Latin word, right? I'm paraphrasing here. The root word of education is some Latin word, which means to bring out what's already inside of you, right? But once the railroad industry was created, Rockefellers and Carnegie, they are the ones who started the education system because in order for the Industrial Revolution to revolutionize, they needed workers. They didn't want a world full of thinkers. So school is how it is because they needed workers. So no matter what's inside of you, they gonna give you this information. So by the time you get out of school, you're prepared and conditioned to be a worker instead of think for yourself. So to go back to your question, school was never meant to cater to anyone's learning style. It's catered to for us to be employees, which is another reason why we all have social security numbers. Last night I was thinking that's the same thing as an employee number.
It's an employee ID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild. It get deep, you know?
Yeah.
But so to that, I don't think that, I think maybe the educational system in the U.S. probably has always been set up like that, but I don't think education in general, like before, like beyond that was.
It was at home.
Yeah, was it all at home?
A lot of it. I feel like a lot of it was at home.
I don't think so though. They had.
Yeah, no, it wasn't all at home. I think because they talked about
They had whole universities.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the Moors
Yeah.
came and gave education to a lot of the Europeans, and it wasn't all that
I mean,
long.
I became my
Yeah.
but you know, it takes a village, so technically, the village is home. It was in the house.
But they did have educational systems. It's just the way that it was set up here is different because this country is based off of like everything is based off of the highest bidder. So like whoever has the money to set the things in motion or to pay for whatever, that's how they make the rules, pretty much.
Yeah, I think I would have, in hindsight, I probably would have benefited more from them like letting me do something. Like let's say there's a problem, like try and figure it out, and then as I'm making mistakes, them explaining to me why I didn't work or why this. Like I think that I usually get more from it. From like you said, like similarly when I'm actually doing stuff, if you can explain to me as I'm in the process of doing it, then I'll probably learn more. It'll probably stick into my brain more.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say if they also made it hungry.
Yeah.
Also, if they made it a like a safe space to even mess up or get the wrong answer.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever like. I don't think for me I was ever comfortable enough to even try to and see if I can get the right answer. Either I knew it or I didn't. If I didn't know it, then I don't have nothing to say. If I did know it, I still don't have really nothing to say unless nobody is saying it.
I feel like that also goes to the teacher. And like it really depends on the teacher and their enthusiasm for the subject as well. Because you'll get some teachers who like allow that or like that's like the whole structure of their class, like is to allow you to make you make mistakes and then we walk through excuse me, like what you did and like how you got here so that we can walk you to the correct answer. But also most teachers aren't like that though. Mm-hmm. Like most teachers are, this is what it is. You should have already known this. We've been over this a million times. Or they're just giving you they're just spewing information at you and just expecting you to catch it. And like I've had classes both ways. I've even had a class like in college in calculus. In college when I took calculus, that's probably the hardest class I ever took. If I'm being completely honest, like everybody was failing. But then when it got closer to the final, because at a certain point, if everybody in all of your classes are failing your class, that's a reflection of the teacher, not necessarily of the students, right?
You gotta curve the grade. I used to love that.
So yeah, he had to curve the grade, but also he set up tutoring sessions. So like I was already getting tutored in calculus because I just didn't understand it at all, and they wouldn't let me take like a lower math class. Because that was like me going into the school. But he held like 2 tutoring sessions before the final. And like it was like group sessions. It was like everybody was in there. If you came, you automatically got extra credit. Like if you came, he saw you were trying, da. So yeah, I went to both sessions. I was also in my own tutoring, like outside of that. I was studying with one of our like friends at the time, trying to figure it out. And like if you went to the sessions, you automatically got extra credit. And I don't know nothing about calculus, past cosine, sine, tangent. Don't know nothing.
You still know that stuff?
I don't know nothing about calculus.
Except
I know the words is what I'm saying.
Word.
Cosine, I know how COS. Little data. And with the parentheses. That's all I know. I don't know what to do with it. Ooh. But anyways,
thought they was a real thing back in the day. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was trying to make sure I said the right thing. But anyways, yeah, I don't know none of that. But it was a sign of like, even though like you are the hardest teacher probably on this campus. But you still, at the end of the day, whether it was because your job would have been on the line or not, I feel like you cared to some extent.
Yeah, but even with that, I feel like it's wild. to if everybody failing and you still leave with an A, it's like, wow, I had the highest F in this class.
No, I don't know that it was like, cause like I mean I didn't have an F.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people did, but like I wasn't clear on what my grade was. I just knew it was at least probably a C, maybe a D. But it was like I was really trying, and like it's like he gave credit for those that was actually trying. Because I'm not a math major, I'm a music major in here. So like I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
My last calculus class was high school. That's the last time I used sine, cosine, tangent, anything. That's how I learned how to use the calculator. Once I got my calculator when I was in school, I'm passing all these tests. I learned how to save the stuff in the save the formulas in the calculator. I know how to work this calculator. So now I went from a F or a D to I think I ended with a B. I was like, yeah, shout out to the calculator.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I did pretty good in like at least high school in math and science. I liked algebra. I feel like a lot of people like algebra. I also had a really good teacher in algebra.
I like geometry.
He was one of those people. Yeah,
right.
It was either, but that's the thing. They say either you like algebra or you like geometry. People don't typically like both. So it's like if you like algebra, you like algebra. I like algebra because it was real simple. You give an example, and then literally we just picking and popping.
Algebra, that's when they throw the letters in there, right?
Yeah, but I can solve for a letter.
I hate it.
Give me some shapes.
Anything that end with geometry, I'm out.
Algebra don't end with geometry.
I know.
I like algebra. Geometry,
trigonometry.
I ain't gonna get that.
Geometry.
I mean that's all in
It's in calculus.
Yeah. Well, calculus is pretty much algebra on steroids.
No, it's algebra and geometry. It's trigonometry. It's trigonometry on steroids.
I was always told that it's algebra on steroids.
I don't know. All I know was I like Pythagorean theorem and I like mx plus b equals y.
Yeah, I can solve for something that's not there. That's fire to me.
I could do that.
It's like a mystery. It's a puzzle.
I could tell you how to make these shapes.
Mm-hmm.
A parallelogram.
It's
parallelogram. What is that?
Parallelogram.
Oh
man.
Yeah, and I liked physics when I was in high school.
Physics was kind of cool.
I don't even think I took physics.
I don't think
I might have.
I don't remember what I got. Physics wasn't. No, I hated physics. I liked chemistry.
I like chemistry too.
See?
Chicken teacher.
See, I didn't really care for chemistry. But
biology was cool.
It was okay.
You know what they say? Either you like chemistry.
I was gonna say like physics.
Or you like physics. I hated physics, and I had to take it twice, and I got a C in it in college. I took it in high school, and I got an A, and they did not take my credit. They were like, "You're still gonna have to take this again."
Did you take biology too?
I'm pretty sure I took biology.
I don't think I took physics. Actually,
I don't think we were required to take physics.
I did have science. I did have a science class too.
Your senior year?
No, I don't think so. Senior
I had it senior year. Yeah, we wasn't required to take it. I think I just needed to pick something.
Senior year, I think I only had math, English, shop class, and maybe social studies.
Yeah.
I liked my social studies teacher. He was fire.
In high school, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take social studies in high school. No, not my senior year. I didn't take that. It was English. Senior year. What else did I take?
Was really picking classes.
Yeah, I was like,
I wasn't even supposed to be in school though. That's the thing. I was supposed to be co-oping.
Yep. I loved co-op.
I never did that.
I wasn't even going to work half the time. We was at Hardee's eating.
Then it was somebody from the church that did, what's the name? And he gave me something so I could redo it and everything. And I looked at this, I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm at, everybody I talk to don't be doing nothing. Y'all gonna have me actually working. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to get out of school. It's cool.
Yeah, I already had a job, so I just used that. Working at Barnes and Noble's Cafe.
Word.
Definitely did.
In hindsight, like I said, I wish schools catered more to, like, I wish I knew how I learned so that I could get the most out of it. And I learned apparently when you're like taking notes, what you're supposed to do is like basically capture and then recreate it for yourself. So like get like if they write that like and with something that I never used to do, but if the teacher is giving you notes, it's like if you're just taking down the notes, that's how they understand it, and you're supposed to turn it into something that's easy for you to understand. So that way you were actually remembered.
That's why I don't be understanding notes, because I'll be taking all the notes.
Yeah.
And I'm studying them, I'm like, did I take notes?
Yeah. Because you didn't write it in your voice. So it's like, it's easier for you to remember if it's in your voice as opposed to somebody else's. And then once I realized that, I was like, oh, that's duh. Like, of course, it's like I'm just, because now you're working on in two different spaces. Like, you're listening, you're taking dictation, and then you're creating. Like, you're actually actively creating. So now you're active in the learning process, and not just like somebody talking to you and then
For the
sticks.
For the most part, I was just writing
Whatever they said, right?
Yeah, I mean, some of it I would tweak a little bit, so that I understood it, or I would add an extra note so that I would understood it, or I said understood it, so that I would understand it. But for the most part, I'm writing down what they wrote down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I was more so memorizing than anything. So I mean, that's the name of the game.
And it wasn't until I was an adult that I realized that memorizing isn't a good way for you to actually learn stuff. It's not.
It's just once I take the test.
Yeah, it's called rote learning, where they ask you to repeat something. It's like 7 times 7 is 40, 7 times 7 is 40. It's like you keep doing it until you kind of like bore yourself. Like you literally bore your brain into being like, all right, we got it.
That's basically what we was doing in school?
Yeah, pretty much just boring ourselves into learning as opposed to like everything else. Everything else we've learned, at least in everything else I've learned, like I've actually committed to memory. It was either fun or it was either I learned it by surprise or I didn't expect it, or it was like some other elements. It wasn't that I repeated it a million times. It was like there was elements that it was like whether it was a game or whether it was, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm questioning everything I learned, everything I know. Like,
you don't know nothing. Every time you learn something, you realize how much more you don't know. So in all actuality, we don't know anything.
Yeah, I know.
But chilling, keep your feet up.
Stay up, but
Yeah.
spend all that money not to know nothing.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's not to know nothing. It's to know how. I was gonna say I think it's to know how, like the system is supposed to be run. Like the system is supposed to work. How you're supposed to do stuff.
I honestly wish I was like schools. I was older when I went to school.
Wow.
How do they do that in other countries?
Because one, especially college. I know why I'm here. Like I have a much better idea of what I want to do, what I'm doing here, and it's easier for me to comprehend some information. Like when I was younger, even I'm not saying start elementary school now or when I was a teenager, but like I don't think I should have been in school at 4 and 5 years old, like preschool or pre-K, kindergarten, however old you start school. But a lot of times it just be like daycare.
Yeah, I was about to say the other thing is like if your parents have to go to work and they don't have nobody to watch you, or they can't afford to like have somebody watch you while they're at work for 8 to 10 hours, 12, 16, depending on who it is, then all right, you're gonna get enrolled in preschool because I don't have nobody else to watch you. And daycare is expensive, so it's like if I could get you enrolled in preschool, that the government paid that. I mean, I'm paying with my taxes, but
I mean, I think I think if you're going to school to learn like science and math, I think you can learn all of that. You can learn all of that there. Like, I think you can't. But if you're doing anything outside of the norm, it's not necessarily it's not helping you learn it. At least in my opinion, it didn't necessarily help me learn stuff that I'm learning now. Like even some of the topics that I read books about. Like I would have never ended up in reading some of the books that I read had even if they had them at the library, I wouldn't have read some of the books that I read now just because
I wouldn't have read a book.
And the only reason I read some of the books that I had was because like my mom was a super reader, and she had 1,000,001 books, and she just had different books. And I was like, all right, let me just pick this up. They had a reading list for the summer. We had to read it was a certain amount of points. I don't know if y'all had that too, but like a certain amount of points for the summer. I was like, oh, this a thicker book means I get more points. I don't got to read as much. Psst, let me read these books, and I'm just skimming through. And then that's when I found out like the kind of books that I like to read.
I think it was only to get into Austin, I had to do summer reading, but I don't even think it was it extra points?
It was a point system, like it counted for a certain amount of things, but it didn't give you no credit towards any grades. It was just like it's a requirement to come here, and then they never ask you to do it again.
Yeah. You know how many books I didn't actually read but still took the test on when I was doing summer reading? Like Catch-22. I don't know if y'all ever read that book.
I didn't read.
Okay.
I went graduated high school and college without having to read a book.
Wow. Nah, they had this. I mean, granted, some of them I had to read, but I remember reading Catch-22 and I got to like the second and third chapter and I was like, I don't want to read this no more. But I gotta take a test, so Spark Notes, here we come.
It was a little bit different when we moved to Delaware because like they didn't place as much emphasis on reading. Like I feel like when we lived in Jersey, I was doing book reports probably in like the third grade. Like second and third grade, we was doing book reports. So like there was emphasis on reading. We had summer reading. Then when we got to Delaware, number one, the curriculum was like a year behind. And then like they didn't place as much emphasis on reading. So like even if I had a summer reading list, it wasn't that long. But I like to read, so like I was reading anyways, but it was just like it didn't really matter as much.
All about people.
Yeah, it didn't matter as much once we got to Delaware.
Yeah, if you could jump back and start your schooling at any grade, what age would it be at?
Freshman year of college? I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Like, would I be this age going back to the grade? Or?
Nah, you wouldn't be.
I just picture him walking to the preschool like, hey, I'm here.
You wouldn't be this age. You wouldn't be this age, but you like.
But I remember everything that I know now.
I say most of it.
I would go
like at the least that you'd know the way that you learn. How about that? You know, like I know the way I learn best.
Would I know what I want to do? I'll probably go to. I would say maybe junior year of high school. Yeah, I think I'll go to junior year of high school. So then, yeah, I would go junior year of high school. I would go there because it'll give me time to figure out where I actually wanted to go, what I actually wanted to do. Like, I think I would take it seriously, like the learning part.
Learning part, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably go back to high school. I don't know if it would be. I might go back to freshman year, just so I could just because it was all new, and I was like, I'd take advantage of that library. But what I'd be
my shop class. Goodness, I would have went crazy, and then.
I gotta finish what you were gonna say.
Oh no, that was it.
I think I would go back to sophomore year of high school because that was also around the time where I was like, I think I started learning the guitar and all that stuff, and also like I really did like culinary arts. But if I knew how I learned, I would probably already know how to play the guitar for real right now. I would be like great at the keys. And I would probably be a actual chef, or at least like a pastry chef, because I like baking and stuff like that. But it was so much favoritism in that class that, like, I feel like now thinking about it, at some point I was just like, I don't feel like doing all this. But if I knew how I, like, best learned and knew, I guess, parts of what I know now, I would have just been like, F the chef, like, I'm going to get this information. I'm going to be the best person in this class. Yeah.
Or I would have been the same way.
But
I ain't feel it. I wouldn't say it was favoritism, but I ain't even need no teachers to like me. I just
that's the thing.
I appreciate you for holding this class. That's all I need. All I need is the class, and then I'll figure everything else out. And like y'all teaching, so I'm learning, but I don't need y'all to, so I can excel in here.
Right.
But I didn't even really care. I was just trying. I was just there to pass.
Yeah, I didn't care either.
I was there to eat.
Or I was eating good.
I didn't do culinary. It was a Jamaican lady, but I didn't do culinary.
Last time I did culinary, I was in 7th grade, I think. Hold on. Was I in 7th grade? I think I was in 7th grade.
Y'all had culinary in 7th grade?
Yeah, it was like it was like a cooking class.
Yeah, that was fun. My class was fun, I'm trying to tell you. We made pizza. That pizza
school
was
did y'all
disgusting.
go to?
It was a regular middle
I
school.
was cutting up frogs in 7th grade.
We didn't. That is what I've always wanted to do. That is like why I wanted. Was that biology?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to take biology. Never got to cut up a frog. I was so.
I seen frog pellets. That was in 8th grade.
Actually, I don't even think we did that in 7th or 8th grade. I think I did that in high school. But you said frog pellets?
What is that?
It was like a frog that was already cut. We ain't cut it. It was already cut.
Yeah, I wanted to dissect the frog because that's what they did. That's what they be doing in the movies. So I was like, yay.
Man, we did that, and then we had got stranded on a desert island. And then basically it was like a whole project, like it was different groups, and then she would give us like all right, these are your options. You could A, start finding water, B, build shelter, and you would just go through and just do the process, and then like that's how I know, if you ever need water, you boil it, get a leaf, get the condensation off the top.
Leaf. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I was outside earlier, I was thinking about that. And I was like, but I don't got no pot, and so I definitely don't got no lid. So I'm about to get the condensation. And what am I putting this condensation?
You gotta get yourself a leaf. You want an island. Hopefully it's a tropical island where you can just get a nice little big leaf. Let the steam get to the top. The salt, you don't have to worry about the salt. Just catch the condensation. Now you got some drinking water. But before anything, you build shelter. Because what's she gonna drink? What's the point in drinking some clean water if you don't got a place to lay your head?
You know, one thing I want to find my senior project.
Did y'all do a capsule? I think we did a capsule. I don't know what I put in it.
We had a senior project. I built a studio.
Oh.
A recording studio. So I'm going to build off that. Find some things. It's not that expensive to build a studio.
Yeah, now it isn't. Yeah. At the time,
back then. I mean, if you're getting all like state of the art stuff, like the stuff that they be having in like Blackbird Studios and all that stuff, and it is gonna be kind of expensive.
It's expensive, but it's not as much as I would have to.
Yeah.
Like it's very doable.
Yeah.
Like once you break everything down and see it, like you know what, it's not that bad.
Yeah, and you're right. It is less expensive than it used to be, and just in general too. I have a question for you.
Oh, what's up?
What was it like going to a regular high school? Because we went to a Votech school, so like we didn't have any arts program.
We should have a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, we got a trade.
Yeah, we do have trades.
I got a certificate.
That's why all my stuff is centered around food.
That's why I can draw a straight line.
I mean, it was It was cool, I guess. I kind of took like a variety of different classes. I took like macroeconomics, microeconomics. I took a creative writing class.
Hated economics.
Microeconomics was pretty good because I could pretty much read the chapter and do great on the test. So it was just like supply and demand. It was cool stuff.
That's all I remember from economics, supply and demand.
I took managerial and financial accounting. It wasn't. I think that's another thing that goes back to, and this was in college, but that's another thing that goes back to if I knew how I best learned, I would actually know that stuff, and it would just make a lot more things easier for me right now.
And I'll be needing the reasoning, like they just telling me this is this, why is this? Cause I'm gonna forget that this is this until I know why this is this. Like finance, that was a tough class.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just standing up there talking to me, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's like at this point now, I'm just like, if you don't care, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm a pass regardless. By any means, I will pass your class.
I failed one of my economics tests. It might have been a midterm because I had just literally got off the Greyhound bus and went straight to class.
The Greyhound bus. Wow.
Yeah, because I went back home. I think it was for a baby shower, and my bus got in just in time. It was running late. I just got in. I took a cab to campus and then went straight to class.
Mm.
It was a lot.
I rode a cab one time in my life.
You said one time in your life?
A cab? A taxi?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We've lived totally different lives. I used to take cabs all the time.
You from New York?
I know. That's what I said. You said one time in your life, so that's so unheard of. Like, what?
I didn't take cabs in college.
We used to take a cab every day when I used to get out of school.
I didn't know that.
Take a cab back to my house. It was like $5.
I took the bus. The school bus.
It wasn't a yellow. I haven't
walked.
I haven't taken a bunch of yellow taxi cabs, but like regular, like black cabs and like, New York cabs.
Uber.
Before Uber, yeah. But
I'm a Gen Zer. They 30.
What? You're the oldest one here. Anyways, back to what you were saying about
baby boomer breeze. But I was gonna say in terms of like doing classes in high school. I mean, it kind of was like a wide curriculum. Like I said, I took creative writing. I learned how to write a check in one of my business classes. That's the only.
I did that in like 5th grade.
I did that in middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 5th grade.
I remembered it.
Mm-hmm. Y'all went on the field trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually fine.
Yeah, we just had a class. I think it might have been finance, but that's how. And I never forgot how to write a check from that day.
Me too.
I was actually learning in elementary school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After 7th grade, the teachers ain't caring no more. Besides English and math. Mr. Scott.
I said,
yeah,
why
Mr. Scott
Mr. Smith?
and
Mr. Scott.
Miss Krause.
Miss Krause, I used to love her.
And then my history teacher, I don't remember his name, but I can't remember.
Was it the long distance coach?
I think so.
Cause that was I learned so much in that class. What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Steve
Finley.
It might have been something like that. Gotta check my yearbook.
Phineas.
Yeah. No. It was like Finley or something like that. Continue, sorry.
You're good. I was trying to think what other classes I took. We had a music production class.
Did you take that?
Mm-hmm. It was the first one they ever had. So yeah, me and like two of them other friends. That's how I learned how to make beats in GarageBand. Like that was one of the first beats I made. Like literally one of the first beats I made by myself was in GarageBand. And then I learned about pearl diving from there. Basically, you're writing. Basically, you're just kind of like writing for a few minutes, and then you're going through. Like you write for like 10 minutes, and you go through and just search for stuff that sound cool, and you write a song about it. And then I took there was a photography class. That's when I realized I really like photography. That's why I know about all the ISO and shutter speed and all that stuff. And I won a competition one time. I took a
science fair.
It was I wasn't even. It was basically like it was was in photography class. They just had we had to do a black and white photo, and I forget what the criteria was, but like it was me and one of my friends, we were joking around, and we were both taking pictures of each other. So we both had the camera at each other, and then I went around and looked at their camera, and I saw the picture. I was like, "Oh, that's a fire picture," and then something in me was like, "Let me just take a picture of them looking at the picture," and then I just sent that. I just made it black and white, sent it in, and I ended up winning. I don't remember what the name of the publication was, but I won. So I was like, "Oh snap!"
Just one thing about high school that I don't like, that I will never forget or never forgive anyone for. How I ain't win best smile. Ain't nobody smiling like I'm smiling.
Were you smiling like this back then?
I don't know that you was.
I was smiling.
Like this.
If I wasn't doing nothing else, I was smiling.
Yeah, he did smile a lot.
Mr. $1 Million Smile. I've been smiling my entire life.
Who taught you that?
That was the thing. Nah, in high school.
He just made it up for himself.
I promise.
He said, "Mr. $1 Million Smile." I made that up this morning.
If
Mr. $1 Million Smile.
If you know, I was smiling. I've been smiling.
Did they have like best?
Yeah,
Y'all had
I
superlatives?
lost. That's how I know
We
I
voted
lost.
for those.
Yeah, you didn't know you didn't have superlatives?
I feel like they were in the yearbook, but I don't recall voting.
Superlatives. That's what they
That's
call
the
them.
best.
Best,
Best
yeah,
dress.
most likely
Best
success.
We had it. I don't
I ain't
know
win
about
nothing in
y'all.
there.
I feel like it was in the yearbook. I don't recall voting. Maybe we did vote. Maybe I didn't vote.
Don't worry, I was slighted. Don't worry. What Michael B. Jordan said? You call me corny.
I ain't win nothing if for my superlatives. I don't think I really went out for nothing.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
is called super.
I didn't go out for nothing. Maybe that's why I don't remember about this actual vote, because I just didn't really.
Yeah,
I was so over my class. I was just like, I just need to go. Let me graduate.
I ain't get a Letterman jacket. I ain't get a class ring.
I
ain't
just
won
got a
nothing.
letter.
Yeah, they
But I didn't
gave
see
us
no jacket.
letters. Like, why?
You gotta pay for the jacket.
But they need to pay for the jacket. I took y'all to States.
Yeah, I
Where
did
my
too.
jacket at?
I was on that intercom every other day.
Right.
Hey, if you want a jacket, you gotta pay for it.
They didn't even offer that.
Yeah,
They didn't even give us the option to be like, hey.
And you know how
I think
many?
they did.
I'm sure they do. Almost every high school offers
It
that.
was probably after
You just
the
have to-
superlatives.
Yeah, you just have to pay. You just have to pay for it. It's like with the class ring.
But I never seen nobody with a jacket except teachers.
That's my thing.
Nah,
They
people
didn't.
had jackets.
They didn't offer it to us. Them teachers had jackets.
letter.
I think at the time, my ex, like, she was like super heavy into the Letterman jackets, and I just was like, it ain't that big a deal. I don't really want no big ass H on this blue ass jacket. I'm cool.
You would have had an
both of y'all got
H2.
H's.
Yeah. But
It's
mine was going to be maroon.
Hightstown Rams.
I'd see, what is it? Paul
M.
M. I'm just not remembering nothing.
It's cool.
Hudson Bozak.
I ain't had no school pride back then.
Me either.
Yeah, my school pride left with the class of 2012. Then it was just me.
I had like the class. I had like the class above me. I mean, my class was cool.
My class was okay,
Yeah,
but
my actual friends was cool.
yeah. But yeah, it sounded like at your school y'all had a bunch of extracurricular activities, and we had sports.
I mean, we had don't get it twisted. We had sports. Our school was just terrible at
You
them.
had 7 classes or 8 classes?
In a day, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I had 4.
Yeah, we had it was like we had 4. Wait, what?
I feel like I had 4
It was
classes.
the way you said
Yeah,
it.
you had 7. Where I had 4.
I had 4 classes a day, I think.
I feel like we did,
First,
yeah.
second,
Because ours was blocks.
Yeah, ours was it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it would just flip flop every day.
Yeah, ours was similar. It would be like it would go 1, 2. It was like 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7, and then the next day it would be like 1, 4, 3. It was like it was weird, you know. Like on Wednesday or Thursday, it would be like you have 4, 3, 2. It was just the weirdest order ever. I don't know why they did it that way. But.
So our 1-2 was one class.
Mm.
3-4 is one class. 5-6 is one class,
Yeah.
and then
How long were y'all class periods?
long as hell.
I was waiting for the bell to ring.
Oh my god!
I don't remember that far back.
You know what I remember? I remember when I was in middle school, and because the classes used to be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We got to 8th grade, and they had increased it to an hour. Man, when I tell you, I was like, this is the longest period of my life. Why are we sitting here for
I think my class is like 50 minutes.
Yeah, our classes
I used
were
to
almost an hour.
try to tell me,
so.
I can't eat in class.
I used to
I'm
be
hungry. I just came from lunch.
Yeah, they used to love saying that you can't eat in class.
I used to be
I think it was a distraction.
I'm gonna finish my food and I was here on time though, but it was just one class.
Mm-hmm.
I always eat. I always got the snacks.
I remember one time, because I always had snacks too, but I remember there was one time, I don't remember what class I was in, but I think it was Tay sitting behind me. I had on a hoodie. She put her snack in my hood. It was eating out of my hood. So she wouldn't get caught, and I'm just like, gotta do what you gotta do. Cause I was over there, I had my snack in my bag, and I'm eating too. So I mean, this is what you gotta do. I'm in the front row, so get it how you live, sis. But
Miss changed her name back to Miss Sturgeon. I don't remember her when I had her. I think she was that in my Spanish class? I think.
Oh, I forgot her name. She was tall.
Yeah. She was tall and white.
I had Miss V for Spanish. She was short in Spanish.
Yeah, I had her too. Oh, what class was this? I feel like it was Spanish. Espanol. Hola.
My Spanish teacher. Shout out Mr.
Unless it
Hernandez.
was English.
He was
it
trash,
English?
but shout out Mr. Hernandez. He was absolute trash, but a lovely human being. But he used to give us word puzzles. And that was the whole class. And it was word puzzles and dirty jokes the whole time in that class. And then when we got the actual state tests for Spanish, he would just be up there smiling.
F.
everybody fell and just like, all right guys, here's your work.
I failed Spanish in 3rd grade. I should actually know Spanish.
You had Spanish
when I was in Jersey. We had Spanish
since kindergarten.
Kindergarten?
Yeah,
oh,
we was learning Spanish since kindergarten. It's something about moving to Delaware and them being behind that I was just like, man, I don't have to do as much. So
I was fighting for my life in Jersey school system.
I forgot everything. Y'all don't learn Spanish? What you mean? I gotta wait till high school.
I was on vacation.
Or till middle school. We was chilling. I'm like, I already learned it. Y'all just now learning fractions? Please. So, yeah. We should actually know Spanish, but
should be a polyglot.
Polyglot.
For entertainment purposes only.
But, yeah. So, we was taking Spanish since kindergarten.
That's why.
That's why I was so hell-bent on trying to learn Spanish, but it's like, if I'm learning Spanish the same way that I was learning Spanish back then, I'm not going to remember nothing.
Kindergarten, man, yeah, what y'all doing?
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Así. Ay, coño.
I know how to
I ain't
say
get no Spanish until the 7th grade.
Yeah, me too, once I moved up.
You got Spanish in 7th grade?
Spanish and French.
7th grade?
Mm-hmm.
You chose that class?
It might have been 6th grade. Yeah, I chose it.
Man, I'll never forget. This is a complete side note. My Spanish teacher in 7th grade, she had us go through and pick countries to do research on or whatever. And she let me go through the whole presentation. At the time, I'm young. I ain't know nothing. She let me go through the whole presentation doing Brazil, knowing Brazil didn't speak Spanish. They speak Portuguese. She let me go. Didn't even let me. She was like, that was a wonderful project on it. But Brazil, they actually don't speak Spanish. They speak Portuguese.
I think Spanish is the second language or something like that.
And she just was like, that was beautiful. Thank you. Like, why didn't you tell me when we was going through the list of countries that I could have did? I was so upset, man. Crazy.
You might have found a sector of Brazil that speaks Spanish. She thought you was about to teach her something.
Right, nah.
Little 7th grade genius.
She tried. She
set you up.
Trifling.
It's learning opportunity. Do your research. When you did your research, you already seen Portuguese.
But you know what's crazy? I wasn't at the time. I think I was like, I don't know what this means, so I'm gonna just keep it moving. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna just keep it moving. I'm doing the study. I'm looking at the culture.
Did you say Portuguese at all? And
I don't even know if I did. I don't remember. I just remember going through that whole presentation and her being like, yeah, that they don't actually speak Spanish. Okay. So what does this mean? Why didn't you tell me this 3 weeks ago?
I would have been so mad.
I thought it was on the list. Jesus. But yeah, I'm trying to think. What other classes did I take in high school that y'all? I mean, y'all had. Well, I didn't take theater, but y'all had theater.
No, we didn't have any extracurricular activities.
Wow,
think of a warehouse.
That's why I said you had extracurricular activities. We had sports. That was it.
Well, that wasn't actually all of the stuff that I was listening before was extracurricular activities. Those were part of the classes.
We didn't have anything outside of core classes in our shop.
Yeah, why did y'all? Never mind. Y'all didn't have a choice.
I didn't want to go there.
I wanted to go there. They made him go there. I wanted to go there because I wanted to do culinary.
I want to go to school with my people.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, at the very least, we had, we had sports. We had some other stuff, like I said, photography class. There was some drama, theater. I wasn't what part of the theater kids, but yeah, it was some stuff you can get into some things, but
I think that's why I went out for theater when I was went to college, because like I didn't get to do none of this stuff in high school.
Yeah, by the time I got to college, I was tired. I don't want to do nothing.
I was like, oh, let me just see what happens. But yeah, we didn't have that. We didn't have that stuff. And I mean, so like at the time, our school was it was held to a higher regard than like the regular school. You had to apply to get in. You had to meet a certain GPA. It's nothing like that now. They had to come to the house to interview.
I had an interview. They did.
They came to the house to interview him and stuff like that. Like it was a process to get in.
Okay.
So they made him go there, and then I wanted to go there. And
they're like, that's Boot sister.
Yeah, I don't even think I had an interview.
I don't think so either. I think you just had to apply.
Yeah, I just had to apply because you were already in there. So it was like, oh, well, we already met your parents while the person's already in school, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I had to apply, meet all the requirements. We had to write an essay on why we thought we should go there and all that other stuff. And what do you know, AP classes?
Yeah, we took I took AP Macro and AP Microeconomics.
I learned how to make croutons from scratch.
To be honest, in hindsight, I probably should have took a culinary class. Would have helped with life, living.
They taste good.
They don't talk to you about what you got to make for dinner in macroeconomics.
Your teacher told you find somewhere to stay. You wasn't reading the song. So find somewhere to stay, then find you some food.
Man.
She's not finding water. She was to say food. I'm gonna be Aquaman out there.
That was on a deserted island. I'm talking about real life.
Hey.
But I learned some stuff in high school, but it wasn't. It would have been a lot different had I known what I know now. Like just at the very least, like I said, the best way I learned. If I would have like been conscious of it,
and conscious of the fact that it be changing.
Mm-hmm.
How you learn change. Everything changed every 7 years.
Yeah. True.
Life changing. How old am I? 29.
35? Wow.
Oh, hey. Still look young and vibrant. Them crack people. They say you're supposed to hit a certain plateau, and then you're not even supposed to age no more for real.
I did see that.
So the video I was watching yesterday.
He said, you're not even supposed to age yet.
To 1,000.
Yeah.
Then our body is supposed to our consciousness is supposed to transfuse or transform into transcend. That's the word.
These are all of the traits. Transfuse, transform. Okay. I ain't see that video.
They talked about that in conversation with God, though.
Yeah.
They talked about it in college.
Talk about that.
School is an interesting thing, though. I feel like.
That's wild. We ain't even had windows, did we?
Yes, we had windows.
Yeah, hey, he said y'all was he said we was in prison. So we ain't had no windows, right? They had bars on the windows,
all the
right?
classes had windows. No,
They had bars on the window. That's what he's saying.
They might have bars on the window now.
Last time I went, they had a glass door that you had to actually be let in.
Yeah, they had the.
No, we had windows. We had blinds. You could see outside the windows.
You know, my younger school experiences were completely different than high school. Like, it was all colorful, little stuff on the walls. I used to sit by the window, like I used to sit on the little heater thingy by the window and do my work. I used to just be chilling, kick my feet up. I needed my personal space, so I think this was probably sixth grade. It was like this bookshelf. I used to just lay behind the bookshelf. I used to be chilling. Like, it was on top of the heater thing though.
Oh, okay, because I'm like,
not on the floor.
You was laying down and shoot. But okay.
No,
that was at
whatever
different school.
Yeah, whatever school.
But either way.
But yeah, I used to be chilling.
You might be right. I think there were windows, but they were at the top. Not like windows that we could we couldn't look outside and get lost in the
It was
sky.
just one class that I remember had windows. I don't know what class it was.
It depended on the
but
class.
It was me, Cindy, CJ in that class, and somebody else.
Because most of the classes that I was in was like on the interior of the building. It wasn't on one of the outside walls. It was like inside.
Yeah, we was in prison. Sheesh.
Yeah, my elementary school was super colorful. I was in New York though, but it was super colorful. And I got the jersey. I was like, what is this? What are we doing here? In hindsight, it wasn't that bad. I mean, not as bad as y'all in Delaware, but
That was just high school. I mean,
Yeah, windows.
I feel like in middle school was a lot more colorful.
Yeah, and windows.
And there was a lot of windows in middle school.
Bright. I used to let me draw on the board.
Yeah, it's just different.
where middle school, our students were separated by color. Not like the teams. It was teams. So they had you was a part of blue team, red team, green team.
He set that up.
I really did. As I said it, I was like, that sounded terrible. We wasn't segregated, but we had blue team, red team, and blue team, red team, and gold team.
I was like, what?
Wasn't separated by that kind of color, but they had us.
We had teams too.
Team, yeah. So I was.
But it wasn't color.
Y'all did.
I thought I heard the thing go off. Just wanted to check.
We had teams too, but it wasn't by color. Our team names were based off of animals. So I think in 6th grade I was like a cheetah.
Probably. Yep, I think it was cheetahs. I was a puma in 7th grade, and then 8th grade I was a cougar.
I think 8th grade I was a jaguar.
Hey, nah, mine.
Was I a cougar? I think I was a cougar.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I was a cougar.
I was 6th grade. I was red team. 7th grade blue team. 8th grade green team.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Yeah, ours was animal themed, and I think after I went to high school, they stopped with that. I think my year was the last. My 8th grade year was the last year that they did the teams like that.
Home was a hallway. It was just one little hallway. I promise you, but that was
Definitely was.
that hallway was a hallway. My goodness, I loved it there.
But yeah, and I hate. This is a complete side note, but I hated the fact that you couldn't wear hats in school.
It's so weird.
And then you go to college and they don't give a.
Because the excuse was always, you're not going to be able to do this when you get to college. And it's like, you could go in there with a big ass hat as long as you're not blocking anybody things. But they don't really care unless it's like really interrupting the class.
But there was people that had on hats. I didn't know what the top of their head looked like until the end of the semester.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh snap, that's you bald. Wow. You got hair? You got locks underneath there? Yeah, I would have never known.
Mm-hmm. And then once you get to college, you realize, like, I'm paying you. So, I'm not about to take my head off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. College was looking like they told me.
I wonder how school is now. Like, I would want to be a fly on the wall and just watch class.
They do multiplication with squares now.
Never mind. I don't want to be I don't know.
I'm actually serious. If you do it with squares, it'd be blocks. I was like, well, I came up. You just had to know with the numbers. 5 times 5.
25.
Come on, you know it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
It was big. It was like a grid.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just get busy.
Busy.
Yes. I will say this is just a theory that I think is probably true. I think after taking that calculus class, it single-handedly made me terrible at like math. I don't know how to do long division anymore for real.
Like long division if you just with the
and then you
I think I know with the remainder.
Yeah, I'd be confused on the remainders. I'd be like, let me just get a calculator. Like that class single-handedly just ruined everything I knew about math.
I actually used to like math. Like I did like division and stuff. Just cause
I like math, yeah.
I'm just like my focus was on this.
I said I could do this.
Like my focus was on this, so it's like I could, and it's just steps. Follow the steps, one number at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Now I can count my money.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I multiply, add, divide, subtract that in a second. But just regular stuff.
I still don't know how I calculated how many things they wanted to do within. I was a couple weeks ago. I was trying to do the calculation, see if I could still do it. I don't know what I put in the calculator or what I put in the calculator, but whatever I did was correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, yeah, they just want to do 6 minutes per page.
Mm-hmm.
That's the max to get the time that they want. I have no idea how I got there, but I got there.
Yeah.
Saying so we can count.
We can count.
Do what we gotta do to get what we gotta do.
You know,
So I'm not bad at the numbers. I just don't do the numbers most times.
Yeah, it's like
we got a person for that.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not bad at it.
it's like that class made me block out, like just start blocking out all math stuff. Cause like up until that class, I remember how to do except for pre-calculus and geometry, and trigonometry. Automatically, just did not. I knew how to do a little geometry, anyways, but like algebra and all that stuff, algebraic equations,
I remember
all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, I like solving for X and trying to find like whatever because again, it's like a riddle. I like riddles. I'm okay with riddles.
Yeah.
But
that class messed me up.
I mean, shapes are cool. I just don't talk to me about the theory of the shape and explain to me why this is a triangle.
That is calculus.
That's stupid. I hate that.
That is calculus.
I ain't take that in my geometry class. At least I was just from this to this. Yeah, I know what equilibrical. Yeah, obtuse.
School is, yeah. If I would go to school now, knowing what I know now, would have been different. It would have been like, you a genius. Of course. I've done this before.
My past life.
You know what I'm saying? I know how to learn. Y'all just be teaching me whatever.
So, yeah.
The biggest thing I would have did differently was took my shop class serious.
Me too.
So my career, my trade, I still can. I should. It makes sense. My art is going to fund my entire life. Like, hey, I could draw. Yeah, that's wild.
I just thought about it. I would take my shop seriously, but I would still be doing what I'm doing. Like, I would take more of the music stuff seriously, probably. Like, learning the guitar and learning to read music and stuff
Yeah, I
like
took
that.
piano lessons in
My mom was teaching
middle
me how to
school.
play the piano. I was actually getting good. Like I could play the stuff she was teaching me like that. And I was like, it was this some church song she was teaching me, but it was fast. And I was like, I liked it. And like a couple times ago, but like, and even the drums. I actually kept doing that stuff too. But
Yeah, definitely should have kept with the drums.
it's cool, you know.
He was killing it.
Word.
But you needed more. Like practice and stuff.
Yeah.
Did y'all have like I just remember, did y'all have like a flex period where it was basically like a period where y'all like either like
We had homeroom.
I had homeroom.
You mean like how in movies when they be having a little study hall period?
Yeah, pretty much a period where you don't do nothing. Okay, we had homeroom.
That was my homeroom.
Okay.
Nothing in there.
In high school, we didn't have a flex period, but in middle school, we did, where we were just kind of like, you just in there doing stuff, you studying, preparing for the next class, or...
Man, my middle school, I loved middle school. Like, it was all flex.
Yeah. We was always doing something, but...
I switched classes in, 6th grade I had switched classes, but it was only from, like, I had one class where I did math and English. Then I switched to go to a science class, and I switched to go to a social studies class. That's it. But it was just like, I'm my regular class where I do everything in math and English, and then you history, you science. Like, it was literally just like a little triangle.
Mm-hmm. I used to go to my little locker.
Yeah, I remember.
I have a locker.
You have a locker
In middle school.
They just had you walking around carrying.
I had a locker in middle school.
I had a classroom.
You had a locker.
You probably had a locker in your classroom.
I'm think. What grade is middle school?
6 to 8th.
Yeah.
I didn't have a locker.
We had lockers.
Y'all went to the same school.
I went to.
Yeah, you had lockers.
I went to 6th grade when you was in 5th grade.
Oh.
I was in Pulaski.
Oh, you talking about 6th grade? Okay.
7th grade. I ain't never used my lockers though.
But
7th grade. In 5th grade, I had a locker.
5th grade, I had.
I had a locker in 5th grade. When I moved to Delaware, I used that locker.
Yeah, 5th grade, I ain't have no locker.
You know, I'm grateful. I ain't never get stuffed in a locker.
Getting stuffed in a locker. Well, my locker wasn't. Our lockers weren't big enough for you to actually get stuffed in. Like, it wasn't. In middle school, it was like half a locker. It was like,
Us too.
Yeah, that's how
but
it was
if
in high
people
school.
small enough, they could have got stuff in. It's crazy.
Wow.
I ain't never got bullied, so.
Yeah,
Me neither.
I'm grateful.
I ain't never give off that kind of energy.
Word. We missed our my first week of
Bullying?
of 6th grade. We went to Jamaica.
That's not that.
Yeah.
That's Spanish.
Yeah, man.
Not Portuguese. Yeah, that's wild.
But yeah. I don't know. I feel like it would be cool if I... Now I'm like excited to learn how I actually learn now at this age, because I'm about to start learning music theory for real. So maybe I should figure out how I learn first before I start
It helps.
focusing on that, so that I can make sure I actually retain it, and then I'm going to move on to the instruments and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, because I want to retain it, not to just like be able to regurgitate it, but to like actually understand it. Now thinking back, most of my schooling, I was literally just memorizing stuff.
Me too. And I have to get stuff wrong. Even in school, the stuff that I actually was learning is because I got it wrong. And I don't like being wrong. Like, I don't like being wrong in front of people.
Mm. So it must have really hurt you when you found out that spring started on March 20th.
You'll never forget it. I bet you'll never forget when spring goes
all about that, but this is a safe space. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but Y'all got any final thoughts on anything that we talked about?
We were supposed to be talking about how the world is in shambles.
But we'll talk about that next
We
week.
want to talk about that. The world's always in shambles.
We'll come back to that another time.
By the time they see this, the world gonna be fixed.
The world is gonna the world is gonna be fixed. As long as you fix your perspective, shift your mindset, know yourself, know your words.
That's all you
Blessed,
about to
stay
say.
black.
Know your stars. Know your stars. Know your stars. But thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Grae Area Podcast.
Grae Area.
Yeah.
I am Shakoya D.
I am smooth like butter, baby.
It's your boy Damani.
And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any topics that you want us to cover, be sure to send us an email at thegraeareapodcast@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Grae Area Podcast. And like we said in the beginning, you can join our Patreon for that low price of $3 a month.
One for you, one for you, one for me.
And that gives you early access to our podcast as well as live access to the podcast. And our other content, our full review show, and our behind the scenes stuff. So, thank you again for joining us. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Adios.
Get
on my motherfucking face.
Especially my black people.
Push the goddamn button.